With everything being rounded and circular, such as the circle buttons, the rounded navigation bar, even the photos have a rounded edge. If you click on this, even your calls to action are a rounded button, and we see that similar shape throughout, even in the typography with a rounded typeface. Next up, the next element I'll talk about is line. Airbnb.com uses subtle lines to create separation throughout, as we can see here with the separation between the header and the listing, and down here with the different sections of the listing. On this website, the line element actually ties directly into the next element that we're going to talk about, which is space. What I mean by that is that Airbnb actually uses space to create lines, which creates this nice clean separation throughout things like its photos. And I think that that's just a great touch. And I think it's a really creative way to use space and line together. Beyond the lines, they also just use a lot of space on the website. This website does a good job of following the grid for the layout. And as you see, there's a lot of big white space out here, as well as space down here in the listing, which makes everything a lot more digestible and easier to read. Down here in the text as well, with the different emojis, there's a lot of really nice, clean white space with this site. The next element I'd like to talk about is size. We see a lot of different uses of size throughout this website. One particular is in the typography with the hierarchy. We have bigger pieces of text for things like your titles and listings, and then smaller text for more of like the details and information about the space. These different sizes, like I said, create a really strong sense of hierarchy throughout the site. The next element I'll be talking about is texture. This site has a very sleek and smooth texture with its rounded edges and all of the space. It just creates a really clean feeling throughout. And every design element on this website, you can tell, is chosen directly to support that. From the rounded edges on the photos, like I mentioned before, to the rounded grids, the rounded words, and the rounded buttons. Everything just has a very nice, sleek, and modern texture and feel to it. Finally, the last element of design I'll be talking about is value. This site has a strong sense of value, and it uses it in several ways. One way that I definitely realized and noticed is, for example, with the navigation bars. When you're hovering, the value changes, and it just helps you with the navigation and the usability of the site. And that's a really nice way to tie value into a website like this. With that, thank you so much for listening to my analysis of Airbnb.com. As I said in the beginning, this website does an excellent job of implementing all of the elements of design. With that being said, thank you so much for listening. Have a great day. Bye.